All right, welcome back, guys. Alviso, your favorite. This one's from like a month ago or something, maybe even longer. Yeah, something like that. But what's going on here? I got a teammate Chris with me, and it's time to beat up on Team California. Except Brian's not, my frenemy's not here. It's just Alex, and there's also a bunch of other strong guys in this field, like Nick and like Dennis right here in front of me. And then also we were graced with the presence of the national champion. So what do? We do the attack counterattack thing. That's our favorite. There's my teammate on the front. That means it's time for me to go and put the pressure on. My teammate's gonna just sit up and let everyone else chase. And just like that, I have a gap. So so this is a pretty good start here. And you guys know the routine. Attack, counterattack for the win. Sitting in's not gonna do any favors unless you have, you know, like a dedicated team of guys that are gonna support a lead out or something like that. This is how you win, especially on a technical or like today, a windy course. And as I approach Nick, who's off the front here, he's a super strong breakaway rider. This is looking good because if I can get in contact with Nick, then we can rotate together and really put the pressure on the field and give my teammate Chris back in the field a rest. And really, I just want to, I want to make Alex work because he's the one guy in the field, like I've said before, that I'm particularly worried about if it comes back to a field sprint. So get on Nick's wheel. I checked back right here. I noticed that Alex has come across, but he's done a ton of work. So so this is a win, even though Alex isn't going to work with us here, which I don't blame. By the way, I don't blame him. That's probably a good move to not work with us. He's done an equal amount of work as me, and now I have a teammate who's been sitting in and is fresh, and now we're caught by the field. So there's no point in me going super hard on the front right now. I'm just gonna set a pretty easy tempo here and wait for Chris to do his counterattack. And I'm willing to bet in just a few moments time, here's a couple of attacks going. I'm a little bit worried because I don't see my teammate. But I'm pretty tired from that effort, so I'm still just kind of pushing 200, 250 watts. And sure enough, here comes Chris and winds up that big diesel motor. There he is in the pink jersey, taking off the front in pursuit of those two riders off the front. So this is good because now it's my turn to rest. And as riders start to chase down my teammate, I'm just gonna sit on Alex's wheel here, and we have a pretty funny exchange here because like I can let all these riders go up the road. I just want to make sure that Alex is doing work. I don't want to tow him. He laughs at me here. But yeah, I definitely don't want to tow Alex up to my teammate because then I'm worried he's going to counterattack, and then we'll kind of be hurting when we have to respond to that. But he lets a gap open, tries to take me off the back a little bit, and we're having a good time out here. This is a lot of fun. But I jump back on his wheel and get the free ride back up to Chris. And as we make the catch here, I am looking for an opportunity to attack, and this is particularly good. So I see that that Alex has done some work to chase it down. I was trying to catch him out of position here, but he wasn't going to let me slip away off the front. But at least I get a little bit of a gap here as I make an effort across. But notice that once I check back, I see he's in my draft. I turn off the gas, and I just want to make sure that I'm not like leading him off the front in a position where he can attack, because even from like 18.5 Ks out, it's a long distance, but I just don't want him to get away solo. So we're all back together here. More attacks are flying. And looks like Chris covers this one. And it's important, so I had done the last attack. It's important to switch off. Like, if you have teammates, you know, don't rely on one teammate to sit at the front and just mark every single move, because although there's some strong guys who are good at that, it's like nobody can just chase and chase and chase and chase. People need a break, and if you can distribute that load between teammates, then you're going to be much better off. Let's see here. So Chris is still off the front, but I do this attack here. Oh, I remember this now. This is funny because Alex was out of position, so I was like, oh, I'm going to do a little tester, but I immediately shut it down because I see him coming up, and then yeah, I tell him, I was like, I thought you were out of position. Thought I caught him out of position, but I didn't, because that's the dream, right? If I get up the road with Chris, I mean, that's what Team California did to us a few weeks ago. Catch that video right here if you haven't seen it yet. But Brian and Alex both get off the front together, and if you're with a teammate, like, of course it's just going to be like a team time trial off the front. But Alex is too smart for that. He doesn't let that happen. And what's going on here? Let's see. Chris is still off the front, and he's just gaining time. So there's a little bit of desperation here. And I just get to sit in wheels as people try to bridge across. But bridging across to Chris once he has like 20, 30 seconds is really hard to do. And I see in the distance there, even though my heart rate's pretty jacked, I see in the distance up there that Alex is going for it. So I cannot let Alex get across to my teammate Chris. That's a bad combination. So I got to do a pretty go pretty deep and do a pretty hard effort here to jump across to Alex's wheel. And worth the commitment, because once I do get on and make contact here, I can sit in draft and I can chill because I have a teammate who's up the road winning right now, and everyone else is on the back foot. They're in a losing position. Oh, and he goes again, and like 177 beats per minute. This hurts so bad. But fortunately, I made contact here, and there goes a big counter attack too. But don't have the legs to respond to that one. But now that more people are going, so this is, so this is looking more threatening. So now I have to, because I can't let like 2 or 3 people get up to my teammate. So this one I have to jump on. And plus, I noticed that Alex was still catching his breath from that last attack, and this is pretty good, because if I can get a gap on Alex, and this is kind of opening up now. Alarm bells for Alex behind, but as long as I can get a gap on some of the major sprint threats, then this is great. And again, like if these guys want to commit to bridging across to my teammate, then the burden is on them, and I can just get a free ride. Like I'm not going to assist this chase because I don't need to, because it's my teammate up the road. Anyway, it's all back together. But now look, we're going 20 miles an hour, and this is exactly what a breakaway wants. So like my teammate Chris up the road in a breakaway wants this like attack, chase, sit up 18, 17 miles an hour, 16 miles an hour, so slow, 15. So yeah, we're laughing about how slow it was for a second, because like when you're going 15 miles an hour like this, even if it's for 10 or 15 seconds, you got to think that my teammate up the road, Chris, is probably doing 27 miles an hour. So he just opened up like, I can't do the math in my head, but he probably just opened up like 10 seconds in that very short amount of time. And this is a bit later on, so now people are getting extra desperate, and I just have to mark attacks here, and it hurts a bit. But as long as I have a good draft like I do right now, it always hurts them a little bit more. And I see that Alex is up the road. I'm peeking around here, so we're going 34. So it's like I'm not going to come out of this draft. This is a really good draft. This guy's doing a hard pull, but I do want to make sure that Alex doesn't get too far up the road. For reasons I mentioned before, I don't want him to get across to Chris. But now Chris is like out of sight. Chris has like 45 seconds now, so it's looking like the race might be over, and I'm still trying to make sure it stays together, because I still want to go for it in the field sprint. But yeah, I don't want to. It's slowing down a little bit here. I want to make sure that. Yeah, okay, I remember. Yep. So now I jump across, and I just want to get on Alex's wheel. Alex is so strong. I can't let him. I can't risk letting him get up to my teammate. So just like before, I have to keep this stitched up for the benefit of my teammate. And yeah, this is hard though. Like 176, 177 beats per minute. That's pretty high for me. Oh, okay, I see now. There's a group of 3 who got away, and Alex is trying to get up to that group of 3. Hopefully, work with them to catch the solo rider off the front. So he's checking back. Okay. Yeah, I remember now why I really committed to this, and like I'm hurting now. Like I keep marking these attacks, and man, it hurts. And but now I have a pretty good draft, so mission accomplished. But I have nothing here for a counterattack. At least it doesn't look like it. We'll see. I kind of forgot how this race played out. But there's the national champ, Jerome, on my wheel. Stars and stripes, pretty sweet. Yeah, I'm just trying to rest now. And if we slow down like to 20 miles an hour right here, again, more good news for Chris up the road. More attacking. There's a lot of clips of that all kind of look the same, right? Alex attacking, me chasing. And he's timing them really well, where I'm like on the front and I have to do this effort. Oh, I can't let these 2 guys get away. So just more painful closing of gaps here from me. But hey, it's a practice race. This is a good workout. But dang, this looks really painful. I should have been in better position here, and probably should have stayed more behind Alex and Jerome here. So that way, it's like if you're up towards the front, I've talked about that slingshot position. It's one of the things I talk about on my channel a lot, where if you're like 8th wheel, 10th wheel, you can respond much better to these attacks. And like in this clip right here, I was, you know, sitting on the front or 2nd wheel or something. Alex came shooting past me, and it was much easier for him to get a gap, and it puts a lot more pressure on me to close it down because the difference in speed is huge once he comes across. So I let Jerome roll off the front here, because at this point we can't even see Chris in the distance. So I want to keep my focus on Alex, and I do roll the dice a little bit here. Let Jerome go. This is last lap now. I'm just going to talk you guys through the whole last lap, because I don't really mind if Jerome's got a little gap there. I know that Chris is still going to win it, because I don't think one rider is going to be able to get across to Chris at this point. It seems like the race is over for first. I still want to win the field sprint for second, especially on tired legs. This is good training, guys. Go out, smash up your legs in a group ride or a practice race in this case, and still go for like that town line sprint, because that's how it works out in a real race, right? Like, you can go out and do like, you know, sprint efforts when you're fresh, but that's not really what it's like in a real race situation. So I always like to still empty the tank at the end of one of these hard group rides, even if you're exhausted, which I am. I was in the middle of some pretty hard training during this, and I'd done a ton of work in this race. So so this is me on really tired legs, and let's see, my position here is pretty good though. I let some riders fill in here. Jerome is still off the front by a handful of seconds, and I am like 4th wheel, 5th wheel in the chase here. Again, my teammate Chris off the front winning. So this is, I want to see if I can clean up the 2nd spot too, if we can go 1-2, because I want to get back at the Team California guys for doing 1-2 on us a few weeks ago. And let's see what I do here. I can't really remember. This was about a month ago. Slowing down quite a bit. I'm able to catch my breath. That's kind of nice. Once they catch Jerome instead of the counterattack, people are just pretty tired. It was windy. Everyone's pretty knackered from doing hard efforts. And it was really surgy, which is one of the reasons. I mean, Chris is strong, but it's one of the reasons why Chris got away, like, out of sight, is because we were surging, going 32 and then 20, and then 32 and 20, and your average speed ends up being crap at the cost of a lot of energy. All right, here we go. So Jerome came by, and he's like, jump on. So Jerome wants to lead me out. So I get this awesome national champ lead out here, and you're going to see him time it really well. If you guys are wondering how to lead out, check out how Jerome does it. He doesn't just jump and do 1,000 watts immediately. He just slowly starts building up the speed with no big surges in pace. And I'm checking back here. I noticed that Alex is on my wheel, and which I expected. And now we're into the tailwind, and now he's just going to start picking it up. And it's just going to get faster and faster. But not fast enough for Alex, who momentarily is going to surprise me pretty good with this attack. He comes bolting past, and I just can't close it down. He's got those track sprinter legs. I really need to be like on that wheel right here. So I'm sitting down. You can see my power drops. I shift, and I'm just like, my legs are burning, and I finally get in his draft. I thought I was going to lose this field sprint, but I come around with just barely enough time left, and take the 1-2 for Tayroon. Get back at the Team California guys for doing the same to us. Hit the subscribe if you want to see more content like this. A thumbs up if you liked it, thumbs down if you didn't, and as always, thanks for watching, guys. Catch you at the next one.